Hey, welcome to Local Legacy. I'm your host, Nick Smith, where I sit down one-on-one, interview cool people with cool jobs and some amazing stories. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Local Legacy. I got my man, Brandon here, Mr. Golf Ballin himself. Thank you so much, brother, for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Do us a favor, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about Golf Ballin and maybe the origination of how that thing came to life.
Yeah, so my name's Brandon Johnson, a.k.a. the Golf Baller, and I've always loved golf. I grew up in Pittsburgh, California, a couple cities over, and golf's always been a passion of mine. I was a union carpenter, and just the idea came in my head to start a mobile golf shop. So I took a UPS truck, converted it into a mobile repair shop, not really sales, just repairs, like a PGA Tour van. So I did that for a couple years, and then I saw a need for a golf shop in the Brentwood area because we didn't have nothing. And then that's when Golf Ballin was born.
So you went from mobile to then an actual station.
Yeah, an actual storefront.
An actual storefront.
Yeah. So people will probably remember me. I used to park at Roddy Ranch. I used to park at Brentwood Golf Course, Delta View. I had 37 contracts, so I would go to local courses. The courses away from us, I would more or less just do big event days when they had tournaments. But I stayed out here locally as far as set up day to day. So that's where I started. Then I just saw a niche for a golf shop because we didn't have one. And then that's when I opened Golf Ballin. So the original company was called Four to Your Door.
Okay.
So F-O-R-E to your door. So Four to Your Door. It was a mobile repair shop. So you could call me. I'd show up to your house. I still think it's a great idea now.
Right.
I just can't be in multiple places at once. But
Right.
it's
almost like the car detailers. They show up at your house to clean your car, right?
Yep. I could be re-gripping your clubs and you never even left your house. I'm still trying to implement that back in.
Right.
I got so many things working that I can't, but that will come back at some point because it's just, most of the time people want to do something, but they just haven't had the time.
Right.
Like that's how it started was the guy that I golfed with every week would go, damn, I need to get these re-gripped. But at the end of the round, throw them in the trunk and go to the bar, forget about it till next week. Damn, this driver's I need a grip. So that's how it originally popped in my head to come up with a mobile. You would do it right now if there was someone here to do it. And golf courses don't really offer the service anymore.
Right.
So that's where I saw the nice little niche.
That's a hell of a niche.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So tell me a little bit about golf. Like, how did you come to love the game of golf from a...
I mean, I wasn't supposed to. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Right.
I'm kind of a hood kid, so I definitely was not supposed to golf. But my grandfather got a job as the general manager at the Pittsburgh golf course.
Okay.
He wasn't a golfer. This is back when you can get a job without resumes and all the stuff you need now. So he became a general manager there, and then my dad started golfing because he got free golf.
Oh.
And then because my dad got into it, he got me into it. I loved the game. I got hooked with the game, so I just started playing. And I mean, I never played seriously. Like, I didn't do... Pittsburgh doesn't have much of a golf team. Sorry, they don't, and I wasn't a good student, so I wasn't going to college or anything like that. So I just played with my dad. But luckily, somehow my dad learned the right way, from like the Ben Hogan golf book and stuff like that. I was
gonna say, this is before YouTube, right?
Yeah. So he learned the proper way to swing and he taught me. And then my dad wouldn't let me go golfing until I could golf. Like, know how now, I mean, we do it. I'll take my kid out and he can't.
100%.
No business out there.
Right.
My dad would not let me go play golf until I could, I want to say, now don't hold me exactly to it, but like my first 9 holes of golf, I shot a 40-something.
Oh, wow.
And I was like 11.
Okay.
Because he wouldn't take me out there until I could play golf. So all I did was practice. As far as we went to the range, he had a bullshit little setup with a net and towels and stuff hanging in the garage, and we would hit balls. No launch monitor, nothing tracking, just him going, yeah, that was good. Or no, that wasn't, stuff like that. My guy. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
See you too.
Hell yeah. That's right, yeah. I caught him out the corner of my eye. You probably heard my voice, huh?
I didn't even see him hiding over there.
But yeah, so I was just into golf and hooked ever since, it's just always been a passion of mine. And no one else did it. It was never, now it's getting cool. It's acceptable,
now
right?
it's cool.
Before you were looked down upon if you golfed, right? And you were
Right.
like, no, you square or you this or you that.
Spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I wasn't.
Right. Right.
My first set of clubs that I used for like 6 years were old, they're actually wooden women's clubs.
Wow.
That my dad cut down to fit me.
Wow.
Yeah, they were baby blue.
No kidding.
Yeah, baby blue wooden clubs.
That's fantastic. And then from that age, you just grew to love the game.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the game. Let me ask you this. When do you think, you touched on golf not being cool, when do you think that transitioned? It's not in your life, but kind of overall, because the game is cool now. You see it now, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone plays, right?
I would say it really got cool in COVID. Is when it really got cool. Because COVID shut everything down and people were forced to do it. And then once they did it, they realized how, because it just had a stigma. It had a stigma of being boring. It had a stigma of being square. It had a stigma of only the upper people being able to do it and everything like that. And with COVID, it forced everybody to go out and do it and go, oh man, this is really fun. If you're out there with your buddies, your friends, your family, you're gonna have fun. It doesn't matter. And people didn't understand that. And people were under a notion that you had to be good. Like people thought golfers were good.
Yeah.
Like people reach out to me and, oh man, you don't want to play with me. Bro, everybody I play with sucks. Like just because I'm a good golfer doesn't mean the people I play with are good. Most people that golf every week still suck. That's just the way it is. Sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel that. But that's the way it is. It's a sport and it's a thing that you don't have to be good at for you to enjoy. You're outside, you're having fun. The good ones are going to make you feel great. The bad ones are going to piss you off.
Right.
But you're going to have fun in between and you're going to enjoy both of them to a certain degree. And, once people realize that, now, I mean, I've had straight drug dealers that golf now, cowboys.
Right.
I mean, every aspect of people, every different creed is now into golf and now playing it that I never would have thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I always knew that golf would get cool once people knew, but I didn't see a global virus coming in to do it. I didn't know how it would happen, but
the means to get there.
Because that's what golf balling really is. It's a hipper version of golf. A cooler version of golf is all it was really, meant to be, So now to see it actually at that spot in time is cool. Because I knew it was coming.
Right.
So to be ahead of the times is, it feels kind of good.
Yeah. That's interesting you touched on that because I play with, not as often as you play, but pretty frequently. Yeah. And it's usually with the same group.
Yeah.
And over the course of time playing together, none of us have really gotten any better. We still tell the same jokes.
Yep.
We still make fun of each other nonstop. We laugh.
Same one-liners when you screw up.
Yeah, the whole time, right?
Yeah. And they're still funny.
They're still funny every single time you say it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's usually to a different person from a different person, right? You just kind of rotate, make fun of each other. So you're right. It's about the friends. It's about the relationships.
Yeah.
And it's also about getting out there and making new friends, making new relationships, right? I mean, there's people I talk to at the golf course I would never have known.
Exactly.
In life, right? And then you see them out of
There's
public.
so many connections to be made on
100%.
a golf course.
Yeah.
It's good for every aspect of business.
It is.
You know?
And for life too, right? Because then you get to sit down with somebody like yourself. Without golf, we'd never be doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then I get to learn about you.
And you can tell a lot from someone's character out there on the golf course, what type of
100%.
person they are.
Yeah.
I don't try to judge, but some people I'm like, oh, that dude's. I don't want nothing to do with that guy. He acts like
angry. That's the third club in the water today.
Yeah. You didn't know you were going to hit that bad from the last 6 holes? Like, what's going on, guy? You thought something else was going to happen on this one.
100%. Let's talk a little bit about the actual business and how you got into. Where was your first location? Not the mobile one.
Yeah. So 40 Your Door was the first thing I started. Then I opened, my first golf shop was by Willie's Bagels across from Heritage. So right next to Shadow Lakes.
Okay.
That's where it was. And I was there for 2 years. And then I took over the abandoned driving range on East 18th. Mm-hmm. So that had been abandoned for some years. I took that over. I ran that and built it back up for approximately 4 years. And then it just didn't work out. It was just, it wasn't profitable. That's all it boiled down to. So I had a lot of customers that would come and use the range, use the facility, but I didn't do many transactions as far as club sales.
Okay.
Like I can remember being there and going a month without selling a set. I don't go a day without selling a set of clubs in Brentwood, now in Oakley.
Right.
You know, so, and, you know, a lot of that is just the years I put in to create a better name, to create a name that's more known. But, you know, I'm not trying to shit on that area, but it's definitely not the best areas. There's a lot of people that just won't go down there, you know, so then I moved there, and then I was there for 4 years, basically decided, you know, I'm whooped, you know, I'm not making enough money. And then I stopped doing any golf business for about 6 to 9 months, went back to regular jobs. And then I scored that abandoned gas station. And then I opened up there and was there for 7 years until the state said, hey, you're not allowed to rent that. And then now I moved to the new location now. So it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a crazy ride.
The new location is
next level.
I'm telling you, man. I don't think there's anything like it. Right?
They're definitely, and that was part of the problem with the city is they can't find nothing like it. So they're trying to, you know, because whenever you're trying to open something, they want to find something that exists.
Comparable.
And yes. And they couldn't compare nothing. So that's why, you know, it's the permits have taken a long time, and there's been a lot of issues with getting it all done and open and how to handle it because the city doesn't really know how to handle it because they don't have a blueprint of how to go off of. They go, nothing exists like this. We can't find anything. Well, that doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to do it. That just means we got to figure it out.
It's not my fault I'm innovative.
Yeah. I mean, because most, you know, practice facilities are at a golf course or it's in a, you know, a open, there's not homes right next door, you know, and stuff like that. So we're dealing with sound issues that we just need. And I want to be a good neighbor. I don't want to, I don't want you to hear.
Community is important to you.
Yeah. And I don't want to be that guy regardless. You know, I want you to be able to have your breakfast without me disturbing you. So we're getting that all worked out as we speak. So we have a nice game plan right now, and I think it should be sufficient.
Good. I'm excited for that thing to turn out. I've been watching the progress.
It's long overdue.
No, I'm excited to. My vision is just football season on Sundays, right? You get the family package.
Yeah.
Your whole family's down there, food, drinks, you're hanging out, putting.
Yeah.
And that's how you teach your kids the game too, right? I have little ones that are coming up. They all want to play.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go down there as a family. We can hang out. Now we're bonding. Now we're creating community, right?
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to offer than just golf, right? You know, there's going to be pool table, ping pong, air hockey, arcades, cornhole, chess sets. That way, if your kid's done with hitting balls in 10 minutes, they still have something to do, but they're still around it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Anything you want your kid into, they have to be around it. If they're around it, they're going to get drawn to it. They're going to want to do it more. So if you make it fun, if you just go, and I'm not saying don't go to driving ranges, obviously take them to, but if you just go to a driving range, and if you got a kid who's done with it in 10 minutes, now the rest of the time he's just screwing around, where if he can go play a video game for a little bit and then come back and hit balls for another 10 minutes, you know, keeps them interested and around it.
That frustration level if they're not getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right, chill out. Let's go play some more hockey.
Even for us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true too.
Just top 5 in a row and go play some Mortal Kombat real quick and come back or something like that.
Digging a hole in this sand trap, right? I can't get out of here. Yeah. No, for sure. I want to kind of touch on a little bit how I met you and the impact that relationship kind of created for me. And I don't know if you know this story or not, but I came in to the gas station to buy some clubs, and I was hitting blades forever. They were my hand-me-down set from my dad, who was probably, you know, 5, 6, 7 handicap. My dad could play.
He was a player.
Yeah, he could play. And so he was hitting blades. Anyway, he got older, gave me the blades, and then he got some more forgiving clubs as you transition, right?
Yep.
Normal process. Well, not normal to start with blades, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I come in for something, and I walk in there, and you're like, he said to me, I said, hey, I'm looking for some irons. My kids are older now, so I hadn't played in a while. I said, I'm looking for some irons to start. And he said, well, what's your handicap? And I was like, well, thinking to myself, like when I was playing a lot, I was probably at 12.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played for 5, 6 years. And he looked at me and said, don't bullshit me. Do you suck or not? I was like, I guess I suck. Yeah, you're like, here, grabs a set of irons. He's like, this is what you need to start with. And I said, oh, that was easy. And then I grabbed a bag. I was like, I need a bag too. I needed everything.
Yeah.
I grabbed a bag, and he said, put that bag back. I said, what? Why can't I have the bag? He said, you're going to pay retail price because it says Titleist.
Yeah.
Grab this bag right here.
Yeah.
Carries your clubs just like that one does.
Yeah.
But it's half the cost.
Yeah.
And after that interaction, I was like, man, this guy is solid. Could have totally taken advantage of me.
Yeah.
Right. And you didn't. And I've bought every club from you since. Every single club I bought has been from you. So I tell that story because it impacted me, right? As a business owner and how you run things, but also how important the people are to you and the community. So kind of touch on those relationships and kind of like the mindset you have when somebody comes in there, like myself who didn't know.
Yeah. So for me, it's really, one, it brings me a joy, right? To just give every customer the necessary information that they need to make an educated decision or purchase. I'm a small independent golf shop. I'm never going to be the best prices because I just can't do that, right? It's just not in my power. I'm not going to buy 200 of those golf bags. I'm buying 1 or 2 of them at a time. I can't. But what I can deliver is the best customer service. What I can do is tell you what you need to know and things that you should do. So, and I value every customer as a customer, not as a transaction. You know, most people only value that customer as that transaction. How can I maximize this transaction? If I can get them to spend $2,000, I want to make them spend $2,000. There's plenty of times I have people that want to spend $4,000 and they leave spending $1,200, just because I don't want you to spend money that you don't need to or that you don't want to. Now, there's times I give somebody all the information in the world and they still go, yeah, I want everything new. Cool. Right. Let's ring you up. And I'm all for that. Yeah. But I'm going to let you know that you don't need to. That this used driver that's $250 is going to be just good enough for you as this $600 brand new one. And you're going to fuck this $600 one up anyways. And it's going to be worth less than $200 in 6 months. Yeah. So why spend the money? So it's just, you know, I just want to be able to give people the accurate, real information about golf clubs because, one, the manufacturers do a lot of misleading that they don't know about. And a lot of the big box stores, you know, you could go to Golf Galaxy and you could be getting fit by a guy that worked at Home Depot 3 months ago. Right. And he took an 8-hour online course when he got the job, and now he's your club fitter. You know, and he just doesn't care about you. And why should he, right? He works for a big corporation and you're a drop in the bucket. For me, you mean something to me. Like, look at how I treated you now affects me now. Right. Right? Not only have you bought all your clubs from me, but if anyone says anything, you tell them to come to me. 100%. And now we're sitting here doing an interview because of that transaction. Where if I would have just sold you something you didn't need and made you spend more money, then that never would have, you know, materialized to something 7 years later. But most people can't look at something and make a plan and make decisions for 7 years down the road. Right. And that's a problem for people everywhere. Like, things don't come quick. And if they do come quick, they usually leave quick. I'm trying to do this for the rest of my life. I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate about it. I want to treat all my customers the best I can while still making a living, but treat them the best I can. And so you could have a better time and you could have more money to get your kids this or to go on this vacation because you didn't overspend on something that was totally unnecessary. Yeah. So
yeah, no, I'm with you. And we haven't talked about it, but I want to get into kind of, you know, your family and how that plays into it. And take me back to kind of the beginning, right? When you start, because I'm assuming you're gone a lot, you're working a lot, you're grinding a lot, you're missing a lot, right? How does that impact you on the more personal level with the family and the kids and stuff like that?
So the unfortunate part is in the early days, I just wasn't around. One, I was making so much effort and spending so much time to progress the business, plus the overwhelming stress of feeling like you're not something, right? Because we're men. Most of us want to provide, bro. And so when we don't feel like we're providing, you know, we're standoffish. you know, and it causes conflict. So I wasn't the best boyfriend, husband, or father while I was growing this business to a certain level of success. I just wasn't, for multiple reasons, because I had my own issues and because it was just really, really hard. You know, it's hard to go after something year after year after year and really not seeing much progress. Because the first 9 years, you know, I had a golf shop and I had a business, but I didn't have things to show for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a nice car. I didn't have money in the bank. I didn't have a nice home. I wasn't able to take care of my wife and kids like that, like I would want to. So that was hard for me to handle. And obviously it was hard for my wife to handle, right? She had to have the financial burden and the emotional burden of raising a family. So, you know, that was the hardest thing to handle. And now that I'm at a place where things are a lot better, I understand the sacrifice. And unfortunately, that's just, you know, most of those things have to come together, right? It's hard to grow a business for nothing while being the best dad ever and being at every practice and every event. Like, if you look at all my kids' young vacations, I was never there because I couldn't afford for me to go and for me to not be at my business.
Right.
Now I can.
Yeah.
So now you see me, I'm on vacation, I'm with the kids, I'm in every picture, we're having a great time. And I'm trying to make up for when I didn't. But it definitely, you know, it definitely sucked, but it was just the way it had to be. Luckily, I had a wife that understood the plan, understood what I was doing. And I always gave effort, right? It wasn't like I was just screwing around. So she could see how much I was trying. So she was able to support us and get us to a place where we are now, where things are much better and I can be around and I can be the father and the husband, the boyfriend, the family man that I wanted to be back then, but just wasn't capable of it, you know? Because sometimes, I mean, it's, you know, it sounds bad, but just when shit is bad in your life, you're not as good of a person, right? I'm a much better person today than I was 9 years ago. I wasn't as giving. I wasn't as thoughtful. I wasn't as, because it was just, it's like, oh my God, how am I going to make it to tomorrow?
Yeah.
And that's how you're living. It's the way you got to do it. But when you're living that way, it's hard to be in that position and still be a great person like you would want to be. Like now it's, you know, last night I saw my boy posted that kids needed some football right to the store. To go get them. You don't think I would want to do that 10 years ago? But there was no possibility of me doing that 10 years ago. And then by me not being able to do that, how does that make you feel inside? You want to go do something like, bro, I can't even go buy some kids some cleats. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel like, so it was a growing pain, but it's all worth it in the end, right? Because anything worth achieving is going to come with sacrifice, is going to come with bad things. So
there's a cost.
There's a cost. There's a cost to success. There's a cost to anything that's worth accomplishing, for sure. Yeah.
And now you're able to give back, right? You're able to do a lot more. I see it all the time where even if somebody brings in something to your shop where it's like, okay, I really can't do much with it, but like, hey, let me give this to somebody else who's just
pay it forward,
right? You pay it forward a lot. But you also do big events too. You also do a lot of community stuff. Even from like golf tournaments, gift baskets, right? Donations, things like that.
I've never turned one down. Everybody that comes in with a fundraiser, a tournament, I always put together a basket.
Even I bought a gift certificate one time for my nephew, and you asked me what it was for. In case it was for like an event, right? There's going to be more that goes with it. But it's like, no, it's just a birthday present. He doesn't need a gift basket. Right? Let me just get the gift. So you're always checking in. But you do bigger events now. So touch a little bit more on the things you do now for the community.
Well, my toy drive is probably the biggest one, right? So I do the toy drive just because I've always been a big fan of Christmas, even though I'm not religious, but I just love Christmas because people tend to give. People tend to be nicer, right? And I wish they would do that more year round. So we do a toy drive and then a toy giveaway that's been really successful as far as a lot of participation and a lot of people coming that are in need of things like that. So the toy drive being the biggest. Once I get the practice facility open, I'll have a junior clinic that'll be
nice.
free. It'll be a once a week. It'll probably be when the kids are on break, right? Because,
Right.
you know, with everything else, it's going to be hard. But I definitely want to do a free junior clinic because I remember having a free junior clinic when I was a kid. And not only do I remember the golf, but I remember having a hot dog, chips, and a soda after, and that being the coolest thing, all the kids. So I definitely want to do something like that because there's a lot of kids that don't get into it because they can't, right? Either they can't afford it or there just isn't many junior programs besides like a first tee program. Right. Other than that, there's no way a kid's going to get into golf unless their family or a friend or somebody gets them into it. So I definitely want to start that. And my motto is keep it pushing, keep it positive, spread the love and enjoy life. And that's all I try to do. Like, you could tell me you're going on a buddy's golf trip, and I'll be like, here, take this, this, and this, make this closest to the pin prize. Oh, really? Yeah. Like, just because, you know? And it sounds corny, bro, but if people spent more time being nicer, then people would just be nicer. Right. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? If someone's a dick to you, then you're a dick to that person without even knowing it. But if someone's super nice, you know, someone opened the door for you, chances are you're going to hold the door for the next person. Right. But if you walk in and, damn, bro, you didn't even hold that, then you will be inclined not to do it to the next person. So, you know, that's what I try to spread that energy around. And it's corny. It is. People can say it is, but it's true. If you just spread love and happiness, it'll be more contagious. And everybody's got enough stress. Right. Everybody's got enough bullshit in their life. Yeah. We all do. So, you know.
So where do you think that transition happened for you? From being that grinder to that almost like a selfish, I got to have this, right, kind of mentality to, you know what? Let me just spread love. Let me spread joy. Let me keep it positive, right? And where do you think that transition happened for you personally?
I'm not 100% sure. And I don't even know where. I just started saying that, right? And then I started saying, like, it was never something I consciously thought of. Like, let me come with a trademark or let me have a little saying. Yeah, I just said it a few times and then I said it more and then I said it more. And then because I said it so much, I say it more and more and more. And now it's just natural for me to say it. But I would say once I got okay, right? So they tell you, put your mask on in case of a crash before you help somebody else's. And that's the way it was. I had to get okay before I could start doing that. When I was fighting demons within myself and I was going through so many struggles and things were hard, like I said, if I wanted to go get those shoes, I couldn't because I knew I'm not capable of that. But now I am. So in turn, I feel better. I do more, you know, and now that I feel better, I want to spread that out more, right? That's just the way it is. It's just human nature. But I don't think I ever made a conscious decision to be that way. I think I just got happier. And in return, since I got happier, I wanted to spread that to more people because you see so much negativity out there. So, yeah, I never really made a conscious decision. It was just I got happier. And because I got happier, I felt like more people should feel that. And that's the energy I want to put out.
Yeah. And that's transitioned to home life as well?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, home life, just everything is kind of, you know, it's been a trickle effect. Everything has gotten better. And don't get me wrong, I've become a better businessman. I wasn't as good as a businessman 10 years ago. I was still making stupid mistakes, stupid decisions, spending money in bad places. Not that I don't do any of those now, but I do less of that now.
Of them, right?
Yeah. So when you make less mistakes, then, you know, things get easier, right? Mistakes they're hard for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And if you're making a lot of them, it gets really hard. So now that I'm not making as many mistakes, I'm not chasing the wrong things. I'm chasing the right things. And I have my mind and heart in a good state. Things have been better and easier for me.
All right, so coming with that growth mindset and getting better all the time, right? And you said it, you weren't the best student, right? Yeah. So a lot of this has been hard lessons, right? Learning from mistakes to get better. So somebody out there who has, you know, a vision or a dream kind of like you did, and wants to get started and wants to get going in it, what are some things that you would kind of give them to guide them on that journey?
I mean, so the first thing I would tell them would just be, are you ready to hurt? You know, are you ready to struggle? Are you ready to second guess yourself? Are you ready to get laughed at? Are you ready for things to be miserable? Because that's just the truth. You know, I've seen it enough and I lived it. You can't skip to the finish line. It's a hard grind. Unless you know, it might be easier if you just come from money, right? And you can just throw the appropriate money in finances and hire the right people and everything like that. But I had to be the bookkeeper, the orderer, you know, most people have to be. I had to be the janitor. I had to be the landscaper. You know, I had to be everything. So it's going to suck. It's not, you can want something, but you have to realize what it takes to get that. And then you have to be committed to do that. If you just, you know, I want this, but I want it next year, then it's probably not for you.
Right.
And that's the only difference between, not necessarily me, but that's the only difference between successful people and people who it doesn't work out, is the people that don't work out are the people that stop trying. Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer, if you keep on and you have a skill, right? If you're just a shitty cook and you keep cooking, right. Okay, you're a shitty cook. You never should have did that. Right. But if you have a skill and a passion for something and you keep doing it, there's no way you can't get great. There's no way you can't get successful with the effort. It's virtually impossible. If you go to the gym every day and work out, at some point you're gonna look good. You're gonna be strong. You're gonna get those muscles. You can't just go to the gym every day for 2 straight years and still have nothing, you know? So that would be the first thing I would say, is just, are you ready for what it takes to get there? Because it's not an easy road. And then just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. It's going to be rocky. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. But you have to enjoy that pain, right? It sucks, but you have to feed off that. And you have to be okay to fight when you're backed into corners, because there's going to be a lot of corners that you're backed into. There's going to be a lot of times, and life is that same way. That's why I don't understand why people don't go for it more, because life is just as shitty. Right? You got that job that's good, that pays, and all of a sudden they're laying people off. So you could play it safe and end up in a crappy position. Why not try something that you enjoy, that you're passionate about? And the other thing would be, success isn't by dollars. Success is, do you like waking up? That's really what it's about, right? All the money in the world, if you don't like what you're doing, what quality of life are you living? If you wait, like when I go on vacation, vacations are great. But when I get back, I can't wait to get back because I like what I do. I really love it. That's the value.
Yeah.
Screw how much money I end up making, right? That's all good or bad. But the real thing is getting up and enjoying what you do, you know? This that we're doing, we're both doing something that we like right now.
Right.
And not many people can say that. There's people working right now that absolutely hate what they're doing. And that is what I consider a failure, and what I consider a success is enjoying every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And pick your heart, right? It's hard to be successful. It's hard not to be successful, right?
They're both life's hard.
Life is hard. So pick
which
your
way
heart.
you want to go about it.
Exactly, exactly. Cool. Well, before we wrap up, man, give you a chance, kind of let people know how to get a hold of you, where they can find you, and if they need help. I mean, from grips to fittings to used stuff to new stuff, like it's all there.
Yeah.
Golf carts. I mean, whatever
everything
you need, you know?
So we are now located in Oakley. The address is 4701 Main Street. Can't miss us. Big 2-story building. Signs are coming soon, I'm sure. But we have a full golf shop stocked of name brand quality used clubs. We also have new, but we got bags, shirts, hats, balls, everything that a golf shop has. We have 2 simulator rooms that you could rent out for private parties, or you could do it for lessons. And then the practice facility is being built in the back. And the practice facility will be a membership only. We will have 4 big, huge synthetic putting greens, 5 bunkers, 6 hitting bays with 6 launch monitors. We're also gonna have pool table, foosball, all the cool stuff, 37 flat screens. So it'll be a place that if you're having 5 people over, I don't wanna be at the house, you're a member, you could bring them down there and you guys can all watch the football game or just hang out and chill. So it'll be a place where you can hang out, or a place that you can hit balls till your hands bleed because you're trying to get better at golf. Either way, it's a place that everybody can enjoy. And you don't want a golfer to have fun there because there's going to be other things for people to do.
Right. Cool. All right, man. I appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, this was awesome. And as always, if you guys know somebody that would be interested in coming in and sitting down with me on Local Legacy, it's real simple. Cool people, cool jobs, and a cool story. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.